Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to this Monday morning with Business Coach Malloy. We had a break in between, but for some uncontrollable reasons. But here I'm back. And today I'm back from this beautiful city, beautiful plus industrial city of Durgapur. On the aegis of Bengal Business Council, we had a fantastic 3-day event in Durgapur, meeting a lot of entrepreneurs, ambitious entrepreneurs, and on the other hand, large entrepreneurs. I met a gentleman from Asansol, 1,000 crore business, own in the business and multiple businesses, family business, uh, going through those pains of succession planning, and the opportunities for entrepreneurships are so humongous. People, Bengalis especially, wanting to take this entrepreneurial journey and moving ahead in life, uh, comes and into our booth and vents out all the frustrations that they're facing with scaling out the business and etc. But what it shows me is the passion that they carry for becoming a successful entrepreneur. None of the people that I spoke to over the last 3 days had any thought of going back into full-time employment. And that's the power of entrepreneurship kick, if I can use the word. The value that you create for society, the value that you create for individuals is humongous. I'll be taking up a new role within the BBC, and where we'll talk in terms of BBC Bengal Business Council, and we'll talk about how uh, we can we can share knowledge from vast majority of successful professionals, successful knowledgeable people, entrepreneurs, not only entrepreneurs but professionals, consultants, etc., from around the country, and bring them, and so that the entrepreneurship community uh, continues to flourish in spite of everything that is going around in the world with the economics, with the geopolitical and other things. Yes, we are coming to the end of 2025, and I hope all of you would by now have worked upon your business plan. Anybody struggling with your business plan for 26, 27, and your personal visions and business visions for the year 26, please reach out to us. Me and my coaches will work with you in helping you arrive at at a plan that is while aspirational but also achievable, right? Because you cannot have an aspirational which overwhelms and we don't do anything about it. We have launched a new program which is called the 3-month business planning program. So anybody who's wanting to come in with us, come into us and work only on that 3 month to help to create a business plan for yourself, please feel free to reach out. We are there for you, and we want this community to keep on flourishing. Join our WhatsApp groups, join our LinkedIn pages, join our Facebook pages, and you will see a lot of content out there, including the YouTube channels. And I will personally come with in the beginning of 2026 with the plans that we have. We have chalked out our strategic plan for the next couple of years and where we want to see ourselves going. But today we continue on the sales series, and one of the areas that most sales professionals, whether it's an entrepreneur or a salesperson of a corporate, struggle is objection handling. And the theme of today is objection handling: how to respond without arguing or losing control. Most sales conversations collapse at this stage, and it is important that we stay calm, confident, and be in charge of the conversation. So, people who don't know me, warm Monday morning once again. My name is Polay Chakravarti. I am a business coach. I'm the founder of Beyond Red Ocean Consulting, which has become India's premier business coaching company. We are partners of Action Coach USA, which is the world's largest and most successful business coaching company for family businesses. And today's topic, I am going to make you uncomfortable. But I want you to change the way you look at objections. An objection is not a rejection. An objection is not a disrespect. An objection is not a personal attack. And if for most salespeople and entrepreneurs who are donning the hat of a sales professional, you need to understand that you need to develop the habit of taking feedback. Because if you don't take feedback, any objection is treated as disrespect and a personal attack. The objection is simply the customer saying, I am not fully convinced yet, help me feel safe. And if somebody has completely rejected you, they don't object, they disappear. They won't pick up your call, they won't respond to your messages. But if a customer is objecting, it means they're still in the conversations, and that's great news. And let's be honest with ourselves for a moment. Salespeople panic at objections because subconsciously they tie their real self-worth to the deal. When the customer says price is high, the salesperson hears you are not worth it. And at this moment, the emotion enters, your logic exits. That's when salespeople start justifying, defending, explaining, and worse, discounting. And here's the truth most people don't tell you. Customer objects not because they want to fight, but because they want clarity and reassurance. And if you stay calm, the customer calms down. If you get defensive, the customer becomes cautious. Sales is an emotional regulation, not persuasion. And one of the biggest mistakes salespeople make is to trying to win the objection. Customer says your price is high. The salesperson starts with the word no. No, sir, our quality is better than others. Now pause and think just what happened? You just told the customer that their concern is invalid. You made the customer feel unheard. And when you make the customer feel unheard at the stage of sales closing, they are worried how much you will hear them when the sales closes. Trust breaks immediately. You don't win a sale by proving the customer wrong. You win a sale by making the customer feel understood. You win a sale by making the customer feel important. You make a sale by ensuring that the customer is heard. Don't do anything during this process where the customer bottles up. Because if the customer bottles up and he doesn't communicate with you anymore, please be rest assured you have lost that deal. And this holds true for your existing customers. Never ever make the customer feel that he is being belittled. Never ever make the customer feel that you're not hearing him. Because if you do that, the customer walks away, and sometimes without complaining. I use a simple framework that works across industries, experience levels, and personality. And this framework I call the AUPC model. The AUPC model of objection handling. What's A? A is acknowledge. This is where you lower the customer's guard. I understand why you feel. That's a fair concern, and you're right to think about this carefully. This does not mean you are agreeing with whatever you're saying. It only means you're respecting their perspective. Second, understand. Now you go deeper. Can you help me understand what are you comparing this with? What specifically is worrying you here? What would make this more comfortable for you? How can I make this more comfortable for you? And that's where most salespeople skip this step, and that's where they fail. Third, P. P is for positioning. Only after understanding do you reposition value. Let me explain why our customers choose us despite their concern. The reason we are priced this way is because of dash, 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 dash. You speak calm, you speak slowly, you speak confidently. And number 4 is check. This is where you regain control. Does this address your concern? If this part is taken care of, would you be open to moving forward? You're not pushing, you're guiding. Remember, gentlemen, the AUPC model: acknowledge, understand, position, and check. Now let's do some real examples today. Objection number 1. Your price is high. And this is the most common and most misunderstood objection. When the customer says price is high, it usually means one of the three things. They don't see fully the value yet. They're comparing you with something cheaper. They're testing your confidence. Price objection is rarely about money. It's about certainty. So instead of reducing price, increase clarity. Compared to what does this feel high? What are you looking for within this budget? Notice you're asking, you're not defending. Objection number 2. Let me think about it. This is not a no. This is a confusion or hesitation. A weak response is, okay, sir, please let me know. A strong response is calm curiosity. I understand. But before you think about it, may I ask you, what part would you want to think this through? This question opens up the real objection. Objection number 3, and as a business coach, I hear that constantly, this objection, because most of my businesses, I'm speaking to one individual of the family and he wants to speak to others within the family. And the objection that I hear is, I need to discuss internally. In my case, this is often genuine. In most B2B cases, it's often genuine. But instead of waiting passively, support the internal sale. Who else will be involved in the decision? What matters most to them? Cost, reliability, timeline. Now you're partnering and not chasing. Number 4, and this is what I hear from most of my customers when they go and do cold calls and meet new prospects, especially in the B2B segment. The objection that we hear is, we already have a supplier. Now notice this. This is not comfort talking. This is comfort talking. This is not rejection. Respond with curiosity, not competition. That's good to hear. What do you value most about working with them? You're learning where the gap might be without attacking. And finally, objection number 5. This is not the right time. This is usually a priority objection. Ask gently, what would make it the right time? When would we reconnect meaningfully? Now you have created a timeline instead of a silence. Now here is something that most of us don't do because we are conditioned to be speaking. Silence is not something that we are comfortable with. So the power of silence. One of the most powerful tools in objection handling is silence, and most people are terrified about it. After handling an objection, we have spoken about 5 objections today. And to repeat those 5 objections, we've spoken about your price is high. Let me think about it. I will internally discuss it. We already have a supplier. This is not the right time. Now we handled the objection. But what do you do after that objection handling? What you do is stop talking. Silence does 3 things. It shows confidence. It gives the customer space to think. And it prevents you from negotiating against yourself. The first person who blinks, the first person to break the silence, usually loses control. Confidence sounds calm. Desperation sounds loud. Remember this. Confidence sounds calm. Desperation sounds loud. And here's the leadership truth. Sales team fail at objection handling not because they're incapable, but because they're untrained. If your sales meetings are only about targets and numbers, you're managing output, not developing skill. Objection handling must be practiced. Pick one objection every week. Role play it. Let your team stumble in practice so that they don't collapse in front of the customer. Sales confidence is built in rehearsals, not in the customer's meeting room. And as usual, here's what I want you to do this week. Very simple, very powerful. Write down the top 5 objections your team hears. For each, write a calm, respectful response. Practice it aloud not in your head. Do one role play session every week. Because confidence is not personality, confidence is preparation. And as we close today, let me leave you with this one single thought. Objections don't kill sales. Poor IQ does not kill sales. Poor EQ loses the sale. Your emotional control is the most important thing in any situation that you're dealing with, especially in objection handling. When you stop arguing and start understanding, customers stop resisting and start opening up. You need to remember, you don't need to overpower objections. You just need to outlast them with calm, clarity, and confidence. And for the clarity, you need to know about your business like nobody else does. Calmness is something that's an attitude. You build over it, do meditations. With calmness comes confidence, but clarity comes with being prepared. Get the knowledge of your business ingrained within yourself so that you are the best in the business. Next week, we move on to negotiation without losing profit or respect, on how to hold your value, protect margins, and still close deals gracefully. Till then, till next Monday, same place, same time. Have a fantastic Monday. Prepare for a fantastic end of the closing of 2025. It has been a tough year. For many of us, it has been a tough year. But the toughness that you have encountered this year is preparing you for a fantastic 2026. Merry Christmas to all of you. See you on the other side on next Monday, same place, same time. Till then, God bless.